We are back. Welcome, everybody, to the Not Fancy League. As always, I'm Rob.
And I'm Tyler.
And we are coming at you with our playoffs set. So let's just throw it up right now. There you go. There's our playoffs. There's our ladder. As you can see, things played out. Not that nothing was shocking, but we have a playoffs. The ketchup week went really, really well. One really close game, one blowout. But yeah, we'll get into all of that. Any thoughts when we have the playoffs pulled up right here, Tyler?
No, it's kind of what we expected a little bit, but
Yeah.
There was some chaos and should be fun to get into.
Yes, we have a 4. So just to start out, I'm not even necessarily going to talk of the game. I'm just going to go L of the week. And we have just formerly Team Trich, formerly Post-Duke Lamar, formerly... There was another one in there. Pain in the McManus.
Yeah.
Changed his name many times, otherwise known as Trich. 88 points. That's tough, man. That is tough to come down to the season, to have a chance to go to the playoffs, win and in type scenario, and 88 points. I'm just going to throw out one big thing I did notice about this game is your 2 running backs that you started, we'll throw it up right now. DeAndre Swift and Saquon Barkley combined for half the points of Miles Sanders. So you can't even put it on your players at some point. It was Miles Sanders went crazy. DeAndre Swift and Saquon did not. It wouldn't have made a difference anyway. It was a good week for Field of Dreams, but L of the week, I am sad. You are sad. I'm sorry, Trish. Dub for Field of Dreams.
Yeah, that was a good L of the week. It was a fun one. My L of the week, he only played 1 snap the whole game. It's Mr. T. Higgins. Reportedly was allowed to play, and the reports are that he got on the field with the coaches not knowing, and as soon as they did that, they're like, oh, no, you can't do that.
Yeah.
And was shut down for the rest of the game.
Yes.
So 0 points for him.
Yeah, and it was the fact, too, that we'll get into this game. If the Standard was able to start Brandon Ayuk because T. Higgins wasn't going to play, he wins, and he's probably in the playoffs. We would see how the scenarios play out, but he would have had a chance to make the playoffs, would have had the tiebreaker over Team Arias, and had a better record than I Am Sad now, currently, is their name. Would have had a better record than Trich. Would have been in the playoffs, probably. So, yeah. We'll get into all of these games more. Do you have an MVP of the week, Tyler?
I do. Evan Ingram balled out this week. I feel like every year he always has one game where it's like, oh, see, he's finally has that potential.
Yeah.
Dropping like 28 points this week, just went insane. Just a really good week for him.
Yeah, he looked really, really good. My MVP of the week, I'm going to go with James Conner. Pretty much the Standard versus Team Arias game came down to what James Conner did, and he outscored his projected points by a good chunk. The reason that Team Arias got the win. Kyler goes down, James Conner gets in the end zone, catches a couple of balls, and that was all she wrote for the Standard.
Yeah. By the way, it was 39 points, not 28, so even better. I think he was the highest scoring player this week. So
I think you're correct on that. It was a pretty good game for Evan Ingram. I don't even know if he was rostered, but he went crazy.
Yep. Rock Springs had him.
Oh, Rock Springs had him. It didn't matter. I scored no points anyway, so...
All right, let's get into
so before we move on,
games.
Before we move on to the points games, there was a crowning moment. I was told that this matters a lot. We have a regular season scoring champion. So shout out to Where's DeMarco Murray. You get the belt for most points scored. Shout out to Rock Springs Football Club at number 2, and a measly 8 points behind the Rock Springs Football Club. We do have I Am Sad. They scored a lot of points. They're the most points in the league. But 7-7,
not
defense. Making the playoffs. Got to play better defense than that. But there's your top
Alex,
3.
78 more points.
Yeah.
78 more points. Yeah. Congrats to him. Do I get anything for scoring like 50 less points than anybody else?
You get a chance to win the toilet bowl bracket, which we'll get into when we preview these next week games. But starting out with this week games, we'll go right into this game. I Am Sad versus Field of Dreams. Throw it up here again so you guys can all see it. We talked about the running backs. Jalen Waddle does nothing. Tua wasn't stellar. Patrick Mahomes hits his projected points. And on the other side, Justin Jefferson's an animal. Kirk Cousins gets a good amount of points. It's kind of all he needed. Everyone else was just average.
Yeah. Derek Carr, like you said, you got the good players doing their thing. Justin Jefferson proving he's a top-tier wide receiver. And then Kirk Cousins outperforming his projection, which
craziness from Kirk.
Yeah, a new year for Kirk. And then for Rock Springs, we already kind of touched about this, but yeah, just an underperforming week. Ramondre getting injured early. It just bad week.
That was bad. And then also another guy left on the bench by Team Trich. The Patriots defense drops 19 points. Steelers defense gets 3. I didn't do the math to see if he could have caught up anyway if he does all those different things. But to overcome the 2.5 points for Fields of Dreams for Derek Carr, I thought that was very impressive. The fact that going into Sunday, it looked like he had no chance, and he still drops 164.
Definitely. Shout out to him. He's now going into the second game. We got the Standard versus Team Arias. I know Team Arias texting me all throughout Sunday thinking he lost this game. He's done. He thought he was not going to make the playoffs. He gets the win, as we talked about with T. Higgins' injury. Big performance with like the running backs doing their jobs with Connor, as you touched on, and Pollard. And then Deshaun Watson, maybe showing that he has some fantasy potential again with dropping 16 points.
Yeah, he looked better than he did last week. That's for sure.
Yeah. Definitely.
And then really the T. Higgins thing is the number one killer. Like, you couldn't have asked for much more out of everybody else. Trevor Lawrence had probably one of his best games of his career. Najee could have been a little bit better maybe. Josh Jacobs did what he does. DK gets in the end zone, and it's just one player away to get that close, to go on a winning streak like that, to win all those games in a row. And then to come up one short for the Standard. I think he would take it. Definitely he has his young players showing potential. But it was a tough loss for sure.
Yeah, definitely. Something to think about that going through the offseason. Going to our third game, like we talked about, a game that really didn't matter. I let Van Doren change my lineup until the last second because I heard from friends maybe I should start Kyler Murray. I went with Kyler Murray. Immediately gets injured, tears his ACL. It still wouldn't have mattered. It would have been less than a point I would have lost by, but
yes,
just a tough break.
That would have been a thriller, though. That would have been an absolute thriller if you were down
Definitely.
by a point, because it would have affected the playoffs a lot if Van Doren would have lost. Actually, I don't know, because both the teams were 7-7, actually. So it actually wouldn't have mattered. He would have still been in based on the other ones. But yeah, I was glad that you put up a fighting effort because you didn't want him just to walk into the playoffs. All right, we are back. Quick technical difficulties. I think we kind of finished up everything we wanted to talk about, the Danger Witch versus DeMarco Murray game. So we're going to move on to Squiggs versus Team Blassie. This game didn't matter at all. Team Squiggs is just a little bit better than Team Blassie. Any thoughts on this game, Tyler?
Kind of what we already thought about throughout the whole year. Nothing that really matters about. We can just go ahead, keep moving.
Yeah. And then we got Rock Springs Football Club versus Money Manziel. Rock Springs Football Club looks like a real contender. The tight end situation seems like it got fixed with the Evan Ingram thing. And then my team really isn't that good. Brock Purdy's pretty cool, and I like Okonkwo. I might hold on to Okonkwo as one of my keepers now because he looks pretty good.
Yeah, be interesting, and see what Purdy does. But yeah, it's two teams. One's taking, one's competing. Go ahead, move on.
Yeah, 100%. We just move on. So let's go into our Egg Bowl update. So I made up a little bit of ground last week. Let's throw up the standings right now. Tyler's 38-12. I'm 32-18. So 6 games back, 6 eggs behind. 2 weeks to go. I'm not really sweating at all. I think I got a shot at this comeback.
That will suck if it's like we tie. That would be so. If there's tie, we have to coin flip for one person gets egged.
If we tie, whoever gets the number 1 pick gets egged.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. Or just a higher pick depending on how it plays. But yes.
Yeah.
So you had Squigs correct. Well, I had the Blassie wrong. I had Arias right when you had Standard wrong. Field of Dreams over whatever Trich's name of the week is.
Yeah, Trich's team.
And that was the difference. So, yeah.
Yeah. So before we get into all of this week's games, we're going to throw up the playoff bracket again and kind of just go through what all of this is. So it's going to be a consolation ladder for the draft order. So whoever finishes in last gets the first pick. Whoever wins the league gets the last pick. So this is how the playoff order is determined. So there's no complaints about it, nothing to do with your regular season record. This is what matters right now. So we're going to start all the way at the bottom. And whoever loses this game is guaranteed a top 2 pick. So a shot at Bijan Robinson to lift up your team's hopes with a real running back. All right, so let's start down here, Tyler. Are you going to out-tank Team Blassie?
This is all I've been working for all year. Well, at least halfway through the year. And so I got to back myself. I'm going to go Team Blassie.
I would agree with you. I think the tank run continues. I think you've lost like 7 or 8 games in a row. So a lot of credit to you right there with being able to
thank you
throw out the worst team every single week.
A lot of hard work. Yeah, I'm on a 7-game losing streak right now.
Yeah, that is pretty bad. So you're looking for 9. You're looking to lose these last 9 games to get that number 1 pick.
Correct.
Yeah, so I think we're both on Team Blasey. His team's a little bit more talented than you. It's going to come down to keepers on who loses these games, I think. Who has more keepers that they want and who doesn't.
Mm-hmm.
So moving on to Money Menzel versus Team Squigs. I'm going to go with Team Squigs to win. I think that I have less pieces. I think I can tank harder. I don't know if you can see my roster right here. I'm starting 2 Bears receivers. So I probably going to take the L this week.
Yeah, I'm going to go with you as well. Yeah, you're tanking just as good as I am right now. So
yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what it comes down to. If it's you versus me in the tank-off game, I don't know who's going to out-tank the other one. It's going to be very interesting.
I'm more excited than the championship game.
It honestly might be more exciting than the championship game.
Getting mad about touchdowns will be a weird thing.
Come on. Okonkwo, stay out of the end zone. All
right.
So moving into
tier bracket.
Yeah, so the upper tier of the losers bracket, now we got the 2 7-7 teams. The 2 losers of the catch-up week are going to play each other for a chance to get the number 3 pick or a chance to stay at 5 and 6. So I don't even really know who I got here. Any thoughts at all, Tyler?
I think I Am Sad's going to lose because he's sad. I don't know. I don't know. I don't have any thoughts on this.
I can't really argue with that. That's the thing. I would take the Standard to win as well, just because he has he has his young players that aren't really worth benching. Like, his young players are good. Like, he was just in the heat of a playoff race. He doesn't have the bench flexibility to lose these games. So I guess I'm going to go with the Standard as well.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't really know about this game. I don't have a feel.
Yeah, I don't totally know.
First of the 2 game of the weeks, we got number 2 versus number 3. Where's DeMarco Murray versus Field of Dreams?
Yes.
Rob, who do you got?
This is going to be a tight one, I think. You got Field of Dreams projected less points, but I don't think he's full. He doesn't know what to do about Debo yet. I guess Debo's out, right? So
maybe, yeah.
I'm going to go with Where's DeMarco Murray. He's the points king, as we touched on. He looks like he's almost full strength here. So I'm going to go with Where's DeMarco Murray.
Yeah, I'm going to trail you on that one. Where's DeMarco Murray? I think he projected more, and he's a points king for a reason. So
yeah. So there we go. So hold on. Let's go through each position group just to give these games the
proper due.
Yeah, the spotlight that they deserve, because it's the playoffs. These are real games. There's only 3 playoff games, and this is 2 of them right here. So quarterbacks, I think it's obvious. Where's DeMarco Murray? Are you gonna disagree with me on that?
No. Definitely, because he has Aaron Rodgers. Yeah. Definitely not going to side with him.
Running backs,
I might go
with Fields of Dreams.
I was going to go Field of Dreams.
Yeah. Receivers is tough, too, because it's one elite receiver and then one kind of weird receiver. Keenan Allen's better than Allen Lazard when he's healthy.
If he's healthy.
So, yeah. I think I'm going to go receivers. Where's DeMarco Murray?
Okay, I'm going to go where's DeMarco Murray?
Yeah.
I'll go, I think Justin Jefferson has more points, so I'm just go where's Field of Dreams.
Yeah, and Devontae Adams is playing New England, so they'll probably try to shut him down, which is a big thing. Tight ends, I think, is obvious because Travis Kelce's in a league of his own. Kittle and Njoku are good, but not quite Kelce.
They're not a difference maker.
Yeah, and they both have good defenses and good kickers. They're both pretty relevant, both of those spots. So pretty even, I would say, is going to be this game. So very exciting playoff race. Not playoff race.
Eagles defense against the Bears. It's going to look nice.
The Bears offense thrives from time to time.
It does. I guess it depends who's the quarterback, but yes.
And the Bills are playing Miami, so that's no guarantee either.
True. So where's DeMarco Murray looks like a clear heavy favorite right here. Let's go to our last game, the game of the week. Number 4 Team Area is playing the number 1 team, Rock Springs Football Club. Projected very close, 144, with Adrian actually getting projected more compared to 141.
Projected the edge right now. Yeah. I think the James Conner thing with Kyler going down is really big for James Conner in these next 2 games. Really, it was going to be last game in these next 2 because he's going to get a lot of touches. Aaron Jones is fully healthy, we believe, so he's going to be getting a lot of touches. We'll see how all of that works. I'm going to go Rock Springs Football Club. I think that they just got a little bit too much. Those running backs are pretty talented. He's starting Tyler Huntley as of right now. We'll see if that changes. But it's hard to pick against Rock Springs Football Club 11-3.
You know, there's been a trend that's been going on for most of this season that you pick against Arias, and Arias has proven you wrong, getting into the playoffs with a D-plus roster. And I'm gonna fail, believe in my boy, Team Arias with the win here.
Team Arias with the win. It would be
upset here.
It would be exactly perfect going into the championship game if Team Arias wins. He would have won 5 in a row, lost 5 in a row, and then won 5 in a row if he wins this game. And then it's the championship, and then we'll see what happens to the pattern then, because we don't know at that point. But yeah, I think this is going to be a better game than the other one. Where's DeMarco Murray right now? Looks really, really good. Fields of Dreams was our top scoring team last week, though. So actually, I don't know if that's true. But yeah, so there we go. There's our playoff preview, our regular season recap. We got a very, very exciting video coming at you next week for our championship game preview. We'll have both owners on next week. So if you are in the championship game, you will be on the video with us next week because we're going to do all of that. And then week after that, full season recap. We'll be in the suits. Actually, maybe we'll just do a season recap and we'll have an award show after that. We'll see what we do for the season recap.
Play
we'll
it by
discuss
ear.
it. Yeah. You got anything else, Tyler?
No, and good luck to all the playoff contenders,
Yeah.
and especially Team Blassie getting points.
Awesome. Well, cool. As always, best roast gets $5. Thank you all for watching.
Thank you.